You gonna tell them? All right, any questions or comments, you raise your hand.
Hello everybody, my name is Joe Brat. The reason why I'm here, it's Joe Brat, B-R-A-T, Joe Brat. The reason why I'm here is because when I was in high school, I was on the football team, I was on the baseball team, I was senior class vice president, I had a lead role in the high school play. I sang, I did all kinds of things in high school, and when I graduated, I really wanted to be an actor, and what happened was I got into drugs instead. And drugs stole my dreams. See, I'm going to start really back before, because when I was 10 years old, I'm going to tell you when I was 8 years old, we went to meet my father. My mother said, your father, we found out where your father is, we're going to go visit him. And we took a ride upstate New York, and we went to a maximum security prison called Greenhaven State Prison, and that's where I met my father, in prison. And then my father was getting out when I was 8 years old, and my mother said, we're going to be a family. Your father wants to come home and be a family. I was so excited about it. It was going to be a family. And when my father came home, he started drinking and doing drugs again. And then when I was 10, he was shot and killed. He was murdered in New York by a man named John Gotti and a few other gangsters in New York. So I had to grow up with that history. My father was murdered. I'll answer your question afterwards, okay? So, I'm here to tell you my story. See, I never really wanted to do drugs. I really said I would never be like my father. I promised I wouldn't be like him. I wasn't going to drink or do drugs. I was going to be a good father. I was going to be a good guy. And what happened was I started drinking. And then somebody said, hey, you want to try this? And I tried that, and I said, it makes you feel real good. See, because I never felt good being me. I never felt good enough inside my body. I was never the best. I didn't like being in my body. So when I drank, I was the best dancer in the world. When I smoked pot, I could sing so good. I don't remember any of it, but I was the best. That's what they told me. I have no recollection of most of it. But the truth is that I went to audition for the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I was going to do Shakespeare. So I practiced this Shakespeare play, and I studied it, and I worked on it, and I got all this Shakespeare stuff down, and I went to the school, and right before I got there, I said, wait a minute, let me smoke a joint. Let me smoke a joint before I go in there, because I'm a little nervous. So I smoked a joint, and I went in, and I auditioned, and I did Shakespeare. And the woman, there were two women there, and they heard me do the Shakespeare, and they both said to me afterwards, that was one of the best renditions of Shakespeare we've ever heard. But you were 5 minutes late for the audition, so we can't accept it. Because thousands of people try to make it into the school. And because I stopped smoking a joint, because I was nervous, it cost me the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. When they didn't accept me, it hurt me so bad that I said, they don't want me, they don't know what they're missing. I thought that I was cool, so I had to be cool about it. But the truth is, it broke my heart. And there I was, my dream of being an actor went down the drain. So I'm going to fast forward, and then I'm going to tell you that when I went to rehab, and I'm not ashamed of saying I went to rehab because I have a disease, and the disease is called addiction. I didn't know it was a disease, and when I found out I had a disease of addiction, I was grateful that I had it, because I just thought I was just bad news. I really didn't feel like I was worth living, and I really didn't want to live another day in my body, or in my mind, mostly in my head. So, when I got out of rehab, I'm going to tell you that they asked me what I wanted to do. So, what do you want to do now? And I said, I want to be on television. Most of the people I said that to looked at me and said, how are you going to be on television? And I said, well, somewhere on television they need a fat bald guy, and I think I can do it. So I went on auditions, and I found out how to be on television. And if you watch True TV, I'm on True TV with the America's Dumbest Criminals, Dumbest Stunts, and all that stuff. They show me on that, Brat. I was a private investigator, private eye. I became a private eye in recovery. If you watch that show, you'll see me on it. Disorder in the Court, you'll see me on it. I was also asked to do the Mobsters series on John Gotti's bio, and I got to talk about my father on it. So I'm on that show too. I'm in the movie Hitch. I'm in one episode of Sopranos. I did a series on Court TV called Parker PI. I was a private investigator on that show. And there's a few other things, but one of the things I'm really proud of is that I went on a show called Don't Forget the Lyrics. Did you ever hear that show? You see that show? Where you sing for money? So I got on that show, I auditioned, there were 10,000 people. 10,000 people from New York came and they were online in front of this place where they were auditioning. And I said, 10,000 people, how am I gonna get on this show? And I waited on that line, and I got in there, and they picked 10 people out of 10,000, and I was one of them that they picked. And I'm gonna tell you that, I'm telling you this because I didn't look at that line and say, I can't do it. I looked at that line and said, they're wasting their time because I'm going to be on that show. And I got on that show and I won $200,000 singing. $200,000. Now, if somebody would have came into my school and said, hey, you over there, when you get older, you're going to win $200,000 on a game show. This is cool. You're going to be on TV, you're going to do all this stuff. It seems like a dream that never happened. But the truth is, I stopped my dreams. I stopped. Because it's whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can't be something, obviously you're not going to go for it. But if you think you can be anything you want. And the truth is, if addiction runs in your family, there's a chance that you got it. And there's a chance that someday you're going to try a drug. And you're going to like that drug. And that drug, I promise you, will steal all your dreams. I promise you it will steal everything you love and everybody who loves you. See, because I became an interventionist. I became a certified master national interventionist, and I can do interventions. I go into houses of people who don't want to go to rehab. I go into houses that their parents have double deadbolts on their bedroom door so the kids don't rob their jewelry. Now, I do have to tell you that if I ever broke into my mother's room and stole her jewelry, I wouldn't be here right now. Would have killed me. My grandparents who raised me up, they would have killed me too. They didn't lock their door.
It's okay, go ahead.
So, the truth is, I was afraid. The truth is, I was nervous about going to the Academy of Dramatic Arts, but I was afraid. I was so afraid that fear of me being a success and going up there, even though how great I studied Shakespeare and I did it, no matter how great I could have been, I was still so afraid to do it that marijuana took that fear away, and then I went in there and it stole it. So the truth is, fear. We're so afraid. How many people sing in the mirror? How many? Come on, now you sing in the mirror. Thank you for being honest. How about over here? Sing in the mirror. You're in the bathroom? Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. You sing in the shower. You like it, right? You get down on it, you sing it. But then, wait. But then you get out of the shower, and if I ask you to sing now, what would you say? Sing now, there's people. All right, so then, oh wait, hold on. So if everybody's talking at the same time, I need you to listen to me. Who sang in the mirror this morning? Who sang in the shower this morning? You sang in the shower this morning? What'd you sing? Hold it. I'll be over there. What did you sing this morning? What song? What song did you sing? Who would you like to sing? We love you. This is Wagner. Come on. Okay. Who sang the shower this morning? That's not afraid. Who sang the shower this morning? Hold it. What did you sing this morning? If I die on? Come on. Does everybody want to hear me sing? All right, everybody. I want a big round of applause for Linda. Linda's going to sing for 10 seconds. That's it. 10 seconds. Okay? Okay, I just need to know one thing. Hold it. Hold it. I want you to know something. I don't want anybody else singing right now. No. Nobody else singing. Now you're listening to me. You ready? She was shaking. Were you afraid? She told me I'm gonna faint. Oh my God, I'm gonna faint. And I said, just sing for 10 seconds. And do you know what she did? She walked through that fear and she sang in front of everybody. That, yeah, give it to her. Give it to her. That is what it's about. Doing the thing you fear the most. If you're not listening, you're missing. If you do the thing you fear the most, the end of fear is certain. Now I guarantee you, she can sing in front of people now. Now she's not going to be afraid to sing in front of people now. Now, I need a guy who's not afraid to sing. I'm not playing that. I ain't playing it. If you can sing, you walk up here. I'm not playing point of finger. If you want to sing, you walk up here. Come on up. Here we go. Batman. Okay. Everybody, round of applause for Shane. Yeah. He's got a Batman shirt, Superman ring, you're good. Alright, so, are you afraid right now? Shane said, I'm a little afraid right now. Alright, so he just admitted to me he's afraid, but he's still gonna sing, right? What are you gonna sing? Okay, he's gonna sing How to Save a Life by the Friend. Let's hear it for Shane.
Step one, say we need to talk. She wants, say sit down, it's just to talk. Smiles politely back at you. Smiles politely right on through.
There's one, two, three. That was, see what His voice was shaking, but he still did it. Come on, that was awesome. Give it to him. That, oh, it's not a talent show. The reason why I did that is for fear. Fear, afraid, but still got up here and did it. I just want you to know, I want to explain something. Listen, I was afraid to do that. But because I was afraid to do that, I did something to take that fear away. And what I took to take the fear away, took my dream away. How many people here know somebody on drugs? How many people here have been to a funeral for somebody who died from drugs? So then we know what it's like to lose somebody, right? You know what it's like to see a family that loses a child? We're all somebody's child. I see mothers all the time who lose children to drugs, and they never come back. Families that never come back, they cry forever. Every day they wake up and they go to sleep, they cry. Cry themselves to sleep and then cry all day. So the truth is, if you know somebody on drugs, hold up, man, listen, you're gonna miss the message. The message is, if you know somebody on drugs, the only way to help them is to get them to help. If you knew somebody who had cancer, would you take them to the hospital right away? If somebody you love had cancer, you say, let's go to the hospital right now, quick. Find somebody, find a specialist in it. So why aren't we doing that for people who are addicted to drugs now? You know why? Because the old timers say it's a shameful thing and it's a choice. And they made a decision to do a drug. Nobody makes a decision. Nobody goes to school. Did anybody walk in kindergarten and say, I'm going to be a drug addict someday. I can't wait to be a drug addict. I can't wait to ruin my life and everybody else's life. Until my... You okay? You got an injury right here. Sorry, you okay? Hold on, everybody. All right, listen. Listen to me. 855 Joe Brat is my phone number. 855 Joe Brat. If you call that number, you talk to me. If you know somebody who needs help on getting off drugs, I'll help you help them. If you want help, if you need to talk, you can call me. If you need to find out who I am, Google Joe Brat. Are we leaving now? All right, thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate it.